Hello, stranger. I get emails asking odd questions or suggestions. Well, one question. I'll make a video on it, I guess. Question was. Well, they seem to know that I was on working on Navy ships and the Department of Defense, Canada and the USA and other places and that, but Jack Halcombe McDonald Douglas, they asked me if I ever turned down a consulting job. Excuse me. Well, I was offered by Prince Hans Adam of Liechtenstein and George Hathaway to come and work in Toronto. Okay. I'm kind of flattered on that a long time ago. Uh, okay. Nancy and I were asked by Charles Bombardier, a Bombardier Aerospace Company, to come and work as a kind of a consultant with energy stuff in Belcourt, Quebec. And let's see, also the Artificial Reef Society wanted me as a consultant. Well, okay, I'm flattered. That was Wes Roots of the Artificial Reef Society. We'd traveled the world and I'd consult on how to properly take apart artillery and electronics. In all three cases, I think it's three cases, maybe there's other ones, but I basically said no. Why? Okay, with Charles Bombardier, Nancy and I were on another mission to go to the Gulf of Mexico at the time to attend and work on the oil disaster, BP oil disaster, which we successfully worked on and cured the waters at East Point, Florida, at Bob Allen's Sportsman's Lodge. He's a reference to our good work. We did that and returned back. It was Nancy and I, and there would have been with Charles Bombardier, forget his name, a film producer, documented everything. I hope Charles is not too upset over that one, but I have high regards for Charles Bombardier because we communicated a lot and found him a very honest and very interesting person with lots of fantastic ideas. With Wes Roots, I'm flattered. I really liked Wes. I worked with him for 5 years on the Reef Society, agencies Columbia, Mackenzie, Saskatchewan, and Yukon. Yukon was for the USA San Diego Diving's Unlimited people, and got a good recommendation from the owner of that company too. And if ever in San Diego, come visit. With George Hathaway, he's in Toronto, I'm in Vancouver, and Prince Hans Adam would have funded it. But the problem is, with all these cases or interesting situations, was I would have to drop my many other interests. So I basically said no, I got these other things I'm doing. I kind of like my being alone and consulting and building stuff for other people. Alone. And doing stuff alone. So anyway, I admire them all. They're all great people and should win, especially George Hathaway should win an award for putting up with me. In the early days, in the 80s, he had to fly all the way out to Vancouver. I did fly back one time with him Not with him, but with Alex Cesaro. No, he just took me to the airport. And I stayed at Hathaway's house, and he was very attentive and showing me around. I met his dad, Norman Hathaway. Very pleasant person. His interest is antique cars, so I got to see an antique car. But in all the cases, it sort of makes me, I'm not private. I like my privacy and my many other interests. So that's basically, I have had offers. My friend Dr. Puloff would cooperate with him and build these power units, but I don't know about Hal. He kind of he stayed with me for a couple of days in New Westminster. I guess the closest relationships I had with scientists are Dr. Rauscher and Ken Shoulders and Gordon Novell, and a few others. But we got along fine. I did meet a lot of scientists, and unfortunately, a lot of them are gone and passed away. Henry Dakin was quite an amazing person. I just wanted to answer your question. It's kind of two weird questions. One was the flying saucer thing I do. That was with the Lorenz, not Lorenz, well, kind of Lorenz, I'm not sure yet, but how thin wires work with antennas, as well as high voltage applied to them, added lift to flying saucers, or toy flying saucers, along with the Hutchison effect. Fields interaction with high voltage thin wire, and UFOs, or flying saucers, toy UFOs, and I found also that large vitamin bottles fly up in the air too when I do the same kind of thing. I didn't know that Matthew made a mistake of sending me something about ships. I'm looking for Ian Williams' Navy ships video, and he sent me a video on ships. It was me doing my thing on Yukon or Saskatchewan with friends. One of the workers there, Raleigh Munn, I believe his name is. There was a segment on that particular video when I was doing stuff for Fox TV, and they were covering it. I had my high voltage stuff, and I was doing the Hutchison effect stuff. And what else was I doing? Yeah, that kind of weird stuff. And I was covered by Star Trek's Jonathan Frakes, Star Trek #1, Next Generation. And he was the host. Robert was the producer at Fox. Let's see. The effects would go into other people's apartments, and they call the police as I filmed them calling the police through the window. Because they get yelled at, why are you busting our dishes again, or organs are falling over, you crazy lunatic. So I uploaded that onto this channel. Oh, I got now, yeah, I know, I got in serious trouble. It was Mayor M. Wright and Fire Marshal wanted me to move out and go to one of Dominion Bridge Berardi buildings, but that kind of burned out. But I continued on. I went through with Peter von Buckhammer, with many other TV shows up to 2009, and I just left. Long story, long answer. I hope that answers your question. Okay, well, I'm going to get back to playing around with my new toy, Mr. Beaver. I'm impressed with that. And what else? I took my vitamins today. Okay, good. Yeah, this is a fine product. So I'll share some of this with Mr. Pete. If you want one of these, get it from this company. I mean, I'm really impressed with that thing. Well, anyway, I gotta get going. I was building high RF and type device. I'm almost finished, so I guess I'll finish it tomorrow and clean up. I might save this Beaver box. It's very well, it's strong for something. Maybe vacuum tubes. Yeah, I'll save that. Okay. Alright, well, you got your answer on consulting things, let me know. But no, I do it only on my own time. The way I want to. I don't want to be bossed around. And I really appreciate the people who, hey, I have been offered this to. At home consulting, I did a number of people. It was a RIA Trade business group around the world. That was fantastic. Made a free energy machine, and they would have investors, 24 million from China, but they never showed up for the demonstrations. Then I had Richard Brewer, tar sands Canada engineer, and we worked on a power unit. Took it to Canada Research and Development, demonstrated it to them. But they say, well, take it to the military. They might know what to do with it. But Richard really didn't like that, and Richard had to go back to England and take care of his family. And then Mr. Yamabe of Japan, I made him a bunch of power units. When was that, 95? And the last time I saw Yamabe came all the way over and visited me and talked about stuff and took a lot of images or something. Went back to Japan, but I've never seen them again. That was about 2004, for Pete's sake, and the units were still working. Then I was consulting with Thomas Messer, the Messer family in Germany, for making power units. We had a lot of fun together, and they worked, and some of them were obnoxious, and some of them didn't work, and some of them do work. It was tested at the Kyoto Institute of Technology X-rays. I think I even still got the X-ray. Found in my file the other day. Ouch! I think this is it. Let's take a look at this first one. I'm making a long story longer. This is X-rays of the free energy machine. I'm not sure what part of the free energy. Anything marked here? The investigator was Takashi Ojiwala. Who watched the sunlight? Japan, University of Kyoto. He wrote articles on it. I don't know what that. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up because I'm going rambling on like an old fool. Carla, where are you? Shut me up.
Oh, I'm right here, John. Come on, man. Get with the program.
Well, I'm trying to get with the program, but never mind. I'll get going as Carla again, by the way. I mean, what company would want me dressing up in drag and running around? I don't think so. I wouldn't want to embarrass those fine people that offered me those positions. Oh, the U.S. government, Canadian government, aerospace companies was a cooperative kind of venture only, not a consultant. So don't get it wrong, okay? We worked together on joint venture and whatever came of it. So, I don't know what that strap's for. Not a carrying strap for Mr. Beaver, is it? That's very heavy. I don't know about that. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna get going here. Throw out the garbage, and this has been a long blah 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 video. So I haven't blown up yet on doctors. I can name a lot of doctors, and hopefully it gets around the world. And their mistakes, especially with a friend of mine and myself. We'll see what happens. I'll just release it and send it to all my emails in the news media. If you're a doctor, listen. Loosen up. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Jeez, what the hell do they do to us? Anyway, I'm going to go. Cheerio.